We're back one final time today with our panel of business leaders looking at the business climate and Wisconsin's economy. Brian Jacobson, let me begin this final segment with you. I mentioned startups, and they are important. New businesses create jobs, and they're very important to any state's economy. The data says we're not doing all that great. What do we need to do differently?
Well, I think one of the things that we could do is try to just create a more conducive tax code, something that's maybe better harmonized with the federal tax code, so it's just easier to do your taxes if you are a small business owner. I think that could certainly help. But you know, if you look at some of the statistics around births of businesses as far as new job creation, we're not doing all that badly relative to how we have historically, considering some of our population growth projections. So low population growth, we still have about a commensurate level of creation of businesses. We would like to see that be faster. I think creating a better tax environment. I would also love to see better investment in, say, high-speed internet access for people throughout the state of Wisconsin. We were talking about how you have different pockets of Wisconsin. It's almost like we're a collection of islands. How can we better connect those? And how can we better connect the people in the northern third to the rest of the world? And maybe something with incredibly high-speed internet access could help those entrepreneurs in that area.
Certainly. Corey Nettles, what do we do to improve the startup picture in this?
I think there's a bunch of mechanical things that we need to do, and Brian was alluding to some of those, but I'm going to come at it from a different perspective. I think we need a cultural revolution. And when I was Commerce Secretary, people used to say, what accounts for the difference between Wisconsin and Minnesota as it relates to the growth in the economy? And I'd say, well, they got the Scandinavians and we got the Germans. And some of this is...
We're the risk-averse people, right?
Exactly. And we've got to figure out how do we create a culture and an environment where it's okay to take risk, it's okay to fail and to learn from it and to try again. And we're so reluctant. 100 years ago when you had the Harley Davidsons and the Millers coming online, they took big risks. So we've got to create an environment where it's okay for people to take risks and to fail and to learn from that. You got to Silicon Valley, they come together, they celebrate the failure, they throw a party for it, and they say, what do we need to know going forward? So we got to do that culturally. And the other piece of this, we got to become a place that attracts human capital and talent. I talk to a lot of startup entrepreneurs and they say we need more capital. And capital, more money. Money has a place, but what you really need is human capital. You need intellectual capital. And we've got to attract more of those people here and create an environment where they want to be entrepreneurs.
Rose Oswald-Poles, I'll give you the final word on this. What do we do?
Well, we do need to connect better those who are willing to take a risk and encourage and foster that with the people that have the money to help fund it, and get those lines of communication open better, get those people meeting in groups so that they understand that, and really talk more positively about all the good things that can be done in Wisconsin, make some policy changes to help make it more attractive, but a lot of it is marketing. You've got to really encourage people to take that risk, let them know that there is money out there for that funding, and we all want to see them succeed. Wisconsin's a great place to be.
We don't like to brag about ourselves, but that is part of it, isn't it? That's what we're talking about. We've got to talk about ourselves and what you can do here in Wisconsin. I'm going to wrap things up right there. I want to thank our business panel today, Brian Jacobson from Wells Fargo, Rose Oswald-Poles from the Wisconsin Bankers Association, and Corey Nettles from Generation Growth Capital, former State Commerce Secretary. It's good to be with you today. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com, also covers important news in the business world. You'll find the latest news and headlines at WisBusiness.com. Coming up next on Upfront, I'll have a few closing thoughts on the 2017 political landscape in Wisconsin. And remember, for political news and information throughout the week, follow me at Mike Goucher on Twitter.